Hi guys, as part of the EU-funded Cheese Your Way campaign, I'm bringing you 3 delicious cheesy recipes using the best of European cheese. I've got a gorgeous, light and fluffy blue cheese omelette with sage and nutty brown butter. Then I want to share a Sunday supper tomato and sausage cheesy pasta that is so simple to make using ingredients you most likely have to hand. And to finish up, a cheesy cheddar and broccoli soup that is just proper comfort food. I hope that all sounds delicious, so let's get cooking. I want to introduce you to my favorite version of an omelette I've ever made. It is rich, it's indulgent, and it's a savory version that is perfect for lunch. It can even make a fantastic dinner as well, but it all comes down to some brown butter, some blue cheese, some walnuts, and some sage. It's very simple to make. We're gonna start off by browning our butter. So onto the heat with a pan, and we're gonna get in there with our butter. Now, the beauty of this dish is that it all comes together extremely quickly, and this moment is where you get this heady mixture of nutty brown butter, that beautiful aromatic from sage, and then that nutty hit of walnuts that are toasting away in the butter. Give it a little stir, and what you're looking for is those nuts to toast up, but the butter to go really gorgeous and golden and nutty. So, as soon as you've got it like this, we're gonna pour it into a bowl, and let's get cracking with the eggs. This omelette is going to feed about 2 people, and it's about 6 eggs, just a pinch of salt and just some whisking. Do not add any other ingredients. I've got the pan coming up to temperature. I'm going to add a little drop more of oil, and I have a little bit of that brown butter in there already. And now the only thing you need is a little spatula, your eggs, and a hot pan. Now let's go. Now for the perfect omelette, take your time, grab your spatula, and just tease those velvety strands of egg in and around the pan, and then let those loose bits fall onto the heat and let them cook out until you have those beautiful folds, which is going to result in a really beautiful omelette. At this point now, turn down the heat to medium. We're going to get in there with our blue cheese and then fold this over. Just look at that. Beautiful, golden and brown. And now, to finish it off, don't forget about the sage, the walnuts and that brown butter. Pop that straight into the pan, and we're just going to douse this beautiful omelette in all that great flavour. Last little touch, a little bit of peppery rocket. And now, time to taste. Oh. It's just one of those dishes. It's so indulgent. It's a next level omelette, and it's one that you can really wow people with, just purely down to the flavour. A really sophisticated little omelette that you can have for lunch or for dinner that makes the best of some really good blue cheese. Now guys, you know I'm a big fan of easy pasta recipes, and this is a perfect example of one. It uses lots of ingredients from the store cupboards, a few fresh ones like sausage meat and fennel, but ultimately leading you towards an absolute bowl of comfort food. We're going to start off by frying off the sausage meat in the pan, so on with the heat in our big pan, and in with a little bit of oil. Now, I'm using sausage meat here because it's a great cheats ingredient. There's loads of flavour to it. And if you go to your butcher counter, even if you don't get sausage meat itself, you can use sausages, just snip the casings and squeeze it into the pan. It's a great little cheat ingredient. Now, while this cooks out and browns, I'm going to get on with my fennel, chop it up with some garlic, and then we're going to add it to the pan. So I've just finely chopped up the fennel and the garlic, and I'm going to get it into the sausage meat, which has kind of gone gnarly in the pan, but don't be worried if there's extra brown bits in there. We're going to use some white wine to deglaze the pan and get it all to come together. Now that they're in there, you're just going to sweat this down ever so slightly until you take the bite out of the fennel. I'm going to add in a little pinch of fennel seeds, and I'm going to get the pasta on to cook. This is probably my favourite part of this recipe, because as soon as you get the white wine in there, you get all that great flavour that it's infusing, but it's also going to help to deglaze the pan. So any of those gnarly brown bits just come together to create a really meaty sauce. To this, we're going to add a little bit of stock and a little bit of cream, and then we've got a pasta that is ready to rock. In with a bit of salt and pepper, and this is good to go. So pasta's going to go straight into the sauce, but to bring it all together, I want to get in there with some really good Parmesan cheese. So let's get grating. Last finishing touches, that mozzarella, that little bit of thyme, some of the fennel fronds, and a little pinch of black pepper. And that for me is a pantry pasta that is so easy to make, and it's jam-packed full of creamy, cheesy goodness. Let's try some. It's a simple and very easy pasta dish that's just going to bring you comfort in a bowl. Give it a try. Cheddar and broccoli soup, it is an absolute classic, and it's perfect for when the days get a little bit colder. It's a real bowl of comfort food, and the beauty of it is that it's super simple to make. It starts off by chopping up some potato, some onion, and some garlic. So let's get cracking. The reason I'm adding potato here is to get body and heartiness to this soup. It actually, as cooks out, gives a lovely creamy finish to the soup as well, so well worth adding. Okay, we've got our onion, we've got our potato, and we've got our garlic, so now let's sweat these off slowly in the pan. So I'm gonna get on our pot over a low to medium heat. I'm going to get in there with a little touch of butter, and to that a little drizzle of oil, and we're just going to cook these out gently. With a soup like this, you're not looking for colour on the potatoes or the onion. What you want to do is low and slow until they're nice and tender. To this, we're going to add a good seasoning of some pepper and a little bit of salt, and we're just going to sweat that out slowly but surely. Then it's time to get in there with our stock. Right, that's our stock in. This now needs to come up to a nice simmering point, and it's going to simmer out for about 10 to 12 minutes just until the potatoes are cooked through, which gives me just enough time to prep up the broccoli. This soup is great as it is. You can blitz it up and serve it up and it'll be fine. But adding in some really good cheddar is going to make all the difference. It's going to add nuttiness, it's going to add creaminess, and it's just going to give you this luxurious finish to a very humble soup. So get it in there. Right, the broccoli's had a bit of time to cook out. Let's check it. I'm just going to pierce that, and that's exactly where it needs to be. It's still holding its shape. So turn off the heat. We're going to get our pot over, and we're going to blitz it up until it's nice and smooth. Just gently fold that cheddar through, and it's just going to melt out and give you a lovely consistency and great taste to a soup like this. Now I'm using Sheridan's Cheesemongers 15 Fields beautiful Irish cheddar, but any good European cheddar will do here. And it's just about adding that extra layer of flavor to a very simple soup. Right, this is ready to serve. Finishing touches, a little bit more of that cheese, some salt and pepper, and a good drizzle of extra virgin olive oil is going to go a long way. You could drizzle it with a bit of cream or even some milk just stirred through, but this is a delicious soup that's well worth trying. It's a really great one to try, particularly when the weather gets a little bit cooler and you need that big bowl of comfort. There you go guys, 3 really easy recipes making the most of European cheese. And if you want more details on the recipes, you can head over to cheeseyourway.ie. Until then, I'm off to eat some more cheesy dishes, and I'll see you soon.